everyone. Welcome back to No Sugar with Everything Krause. We're giggling because this is the second time doing it and because we're also twinning in our coffee sweatshirts. So we just got these sweatshirts for Easter. Mommy got them for us. And if there's one thing about Oswald and I, we love to twin. Any chance we can, we're going to twin. And I'm not mad about it.
We're meant to be twins.
No, literally.
We were.
I feel like people
but
sometimes...
the age gap is helpful, I will say.
Yeah. We're 3 years apart, which I feel like some people don't realize. I am 3 years older than Isabel. Kateri is 3 years older than Isabel. Let me just clarify that.
I don't know why you want to claim that title. So many people think I'm older, and I'm like, what an insult.
I don't want to claim the title.
What an insult.
I just want to state that there is an age difference. Like, some people think that you're older, and it's just, it's like, okay.
I do tan a lot, but the wrinkles ain't there yet.
Yeah, like, for real. So, anyway, today's just going to be a ramble-jamble.
No, we're going to do a life update today. I feel like...
Well, we were talking, we're like, there's so many different areas of life that I feel like, not like so many different things, but we've wanted to talk about, but it's hard to do that when you also have a topic in mind because you pull people in to listen to an episode based on the topic, and then if the first 30 minutes is just ramble and they weren't expecting it, it's like, okay, I'm not going to listen to this. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to that either. So we're kind of dedicating this episode to just different updates. I feel like they're all really good updates and just...
Well, they're like beneficial updates. That's the thing about this podcast is as much as it is information and value, we created this podcast to share our life.
Yeah.
So that you guys could learn from things that we have been experiencing. So this is an episode to really update maybe some of our experiences that we've had recently that are shaping us. And
You got makeup on your sweatshirt.
You're lying.
You can never put a sweatshirt on without getting makeup on. It's fine.
Don't look at the chin.
It's fine. We'll get it off. Always.
I ruined it.
No, it's fine.
It's because I don't wear makeup, so when I put it... It's because I don't wear makeup, so when I put it over my neck, I'm like, what do I do here?
Yeah. She never
and I
really
don't even know how to apply makeup. Like, who knows where the foundation is on my face right now? It could be on my tit, for all I know.
Anywho, so today let's just do some updates. Isabel, you want to go ahead and read?
Yes.
Isabel sent me a text today walking our dog Zoe and was like, these are things, whatever, just read the text.
This is all I texted her.
For today's episode.
10:49 a.m. The Pope died. ACL struggles this week. Easter. The Passion Thoughts. NBA update. Devil coming for us. Rosary making. What did I want to add to that?
And puppy. Yeah, puppy.
Yeah, so we just have life updates to tell you. So don't listen if you don't care about us, but there's a few there's a ton of you on here who constantly reach out and ask certain questions about our lifestyle or things that we are doing in our life or just want to hear an update on us. So that's what we're here to share.
Sometimes we beat ourselves up if like the episode is like this. Sorry, we're going to get into it, but I just have to say this because we're very critical on ourselves of like, did that provide enough value? But like as I was saying, one of the reasons we started podcasts was to be able to have long form content available for people without trying to shove it on an Instagram reel or TikTok or something like that, where it's very short and quick and people's attention span isn't an hour long when they don't think it's going to be like a 3-minute video, right? So this is kind of the purpose of that. So that's why we're taking advantage of it. But yeah, anyway.
I think you'll like these updates. They're fun. Kind of.
So I want to start with, because it was the last thing that we just shoved in there. Last episode we mentioned that our dog Johnson passed away. So it's
that was last episode.
Yeah, literally that was
we
last
moved
episode.
Quick.
And we got another dog. So
listen,
our family is a little crazy, and we are just a 2-dog household at heart. I never really thought that I never looked at us as like having so many dogs, but then when one was gone. And now our other brother, Joseph, has Ranger, who is the most precious dog in the world.
Perfect.
Like, he's perfection. But they don't live at home with us, right? So we don't get to see him all the time, and he's not in the home all the time. Like, there's periods where if Joseph and Julie are traveling, we watch him for like a week, but that's about it. So
that hasn't happened in so long.
I know, it does feel like that. But when Johnson passed away, it was just this like, whoa, we only had Zoe. Zoe's a very particular type of dog. She doesn't like being top dog. She doesn't want to greet you all the time, play with you all the time. She just kind of wants to be the princess of the house, and that's her role. So then we were lacking that masculine energy. So of course, our family in a nutshell immediately starts looking for dogs. And we found this one actually where we got Zoe, like this adoption place right near us. and his name was Reds on the website, and we were like, oh my God, he is precious. So my mom texted the owner of the place because that's where we got Zoe, and mom has helped her get cars, etc. And she was like, yeah, come by and, take a look. He's so precious. He's literally so calming, whatever. So Xander, my dad, and I went up where were you?
Where was I? Yoga?
Oh,
Sculpt.
You guys were going to workout class. So us three went up to see the dog, and literally I fell in love with him that very moment because I couldn't get over, first of all, you go in these places and she had 7 dogs at the time. So all you hear is barking, right? They're all in their crates because she had gone to let us meet him, basically. So they're all in their crates. They're all going insanely wild, except for, at the time, Reds, who is now Duncan. He was...
Like, literally Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Duncan.
So he was so quiet in his crate and just, like, ready for Tori to get him out, the owner. So she brings him out to us, like, in the playroom, and he's just so happy, but not overly puppy energy. Yeah. Like, where it's jumping in your face, can't be controlled. He was really, really good, and I feel like right away we were like, whoa, you're just so used to, like, puppy energy, and we haven't had a puppy in so long, so I feel like that's kind of a match made in heaven right there, because we're not used to having puppy energy around us. We're used to having older dogs. So that's a hard adjustment to make, is like we're learning really quick, like, whoa, puppy's a lot of work.
It's literally a baby. A puppy is literally a baby. Like, it is a life to take care of. The first day here, I swear, all I did all day was like, where's the puppy?
No,
where is the puppy?
Where is he? Like, is he going pee in the house? Is he going poop in the house? It was just like, I couldn't do anything else but focus on the puppy. Like, if he's not in the crate, we have to be watching him. Yeah. And anyway, so
that's how funny our family is, though. Like, we didn't think we were getting this puppy. They just went up to go see this dog. We're like, do we even like him? Next thing you know, Xander's on the couch and is like, so are we fostering him tomorrow?
Yeah, because the goal was kind of like for our dad to have a dog, because him and Johnson, although Johnson was Xander's dog, our dad really took such great care of him. And Xander lives at home, so he became our family dog, like we said. And that was like a deep connection for Dad and even Xander.
Dad literally talked to Johnny every single day. And it doesn't make sense for Xander to get a dog because he's going to move out and get married, and he wants to wait to do that with Emily. And I'm not going to get a dog because the same thing with me and same with his well. Like, we're not just listen.
I'm not getting a dog now.
I'm not rushing my dog experience because I've seen my brother. So if you're thinking of getting a dog, here's a little value for you. Our brothers have said that they don't regret it. I think they love their dogs so much, and it was the best decision they've ever made. But it did make life more difficult for them in the sense of, like, traveling in their 20s, especially for someone who likes to take trips, like, every summer or something. We always had the dogs to think of. Like, it was skiing. We had to book a place that allowed us to bring the dogs. Yeah. But Xander also uses a really great phrase where he says, trips are 10% of your life. Dogs make the 90% of your life, the everyday life, so joyful. Don't skip out on that 90% of happiness to save yourself the 10%. Yeah. And I think that's a really good lesson too. Just if you're wondering if you need a dog.
Exactly. So anyway, I'll just like quickly go through this, but we left that day and I was like, oh my God, I love that dog. Like, I honestly couldn't believe how much I like fell in love with that dog. And we did meet one other dog there, but he just didn't have the same effect on us, which I feel like was a good sign, because I was like, do I just love this dog because he's a puppy and he's cute? And then we were all thinking that until we met the other dog. Not that the other dog wasn't adorable as well, but it's just like, you kind of know, like, that's not my dog. And we went home, and then the next day, Isabel, my mom, I went again and same with Dad. We went to go meet the dog again just so they could meet them. And I think you guys kind of thought the same thing. Like,
he literally was, I picked him up right away and he was just like chilling in my arms. I was like,
like, so calm, was just like, his energy was crazy. Now he is 4 months old, so he's not like puppy, but it's honestly perfect.
He's pretty tiny though. He's pretty tiny.
Oh yeah. But especially compared to our other dogs now, like Ranger was over this past weekend. Oh my goodness.
I was like, dude, you're fat.
Yeah, literally. Like, Zoe looks fat and Ranger looks fat compared to him. And they look old and fat.
Ranger looks so haggard in the face. I was like, dude.
I know. And it's just because now we have this 4-month puppy around us. But so then we went, and then we found out that the family that had come in as Xander, my dad, and I were leaving on whatever day it was, actually asked to put in an application for him. And she was like, I already have an application in, because she knew that we were interested in, you know,
she knows us. She likes us.
So, and she knows that if we're looking at a dog and thinking about, quote unquote, fostering the dog for a week, that it's probably going to happen. So we were like, okay, my dad was like, I would like to have the dog in the house to see how he is with Zoe, just see how he is around us. Like, what if he comes home and it's miserable between him and Zoe? It's not a fit. Like, you never really know. I knew in my mind that we don't foster dogs and give them back. Like, Zoe was a foster, and here she is. So I was like, okay, so we're getting a dog. So literally, mom texted the woman, was like, can we foster the dog? She's like, yes, I'll give you like the code for the lockbox. I trust you guys. You can go in and get them if you want. Literally 30 minutes later, Xander and Dad went and got him, and he was home with us. Like,
Yeah.
it would happen so quick. And
That night, the name tag was made.
the name tag was made that
Papers
night.
weren't signed. Nothing was ours. It wasn't official. We were like, name
Yeah,
tag.
yeah, but don't worry, application all went in, payment, everything. We adopted the dog officially. So now we have a 4-month-old puppy. His name is Duncan, and he is the most precious puppy.
Perfect, well-behaved dog ever. I just need to say a few things about him. Johnson was our dog that died. He was a really special dog. I know everyone says their dog was special, but like Johnson was different. He beat to his own drum. Like that guy literally didn't care what you had to, he listened. He was a well-behaved dog, obviously, but he didn't care what you thought, what you had to say. He didn't care if he had to kick you out of the front row seat to get the best spot in the sun. Like he didn't care. He did what he wanted to do.
In a behaved way.
In a behaved way. It was just like he had this walk about him. He had this confidence. It was just an unapologetically himself dog. It reminded me a lot of Xander. I literally think Xander raised the kid to be that way. So this dog exuded that same energy. Like he literally just, he's so calm around other dogs. He doesn't care if they take his toys. Like he just doesn't, he's like secure in himself.
Anyway, so that's like, I think, the biggest life update, because last podcast we had lost the dog and we're grieving the dog, and now we have another. But honestly, I know it sounds crazy, but I truly think that Johnny sent us that dog, because he was 4 months old. So the woman said to us many times, like, I can't believe he hasn't been adopted yet.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it, because how could you go there and not, like, he is perfection.
He's literally beautiful. He's so
beautiful, and he's so well behaved. He's perfect. And honestly, I feel like all of us were just like that. You feel a connection with the dog, and if we're getting a dog, that was our time. Like, we weren't going to wait a month or 2 months, because what was the point of waiting if we feel like we found our next dog?
Yeah.
So yes, we're a little crazy. Yeah, we have another puppy in the house, and it's just the best thing ever.
It's funny and it's amazing, and
Yeah.
it makes life so joyous.
Yeah, it really does. As well, and I have like just done nothing this morning but like walk the dog, watch him play with him, like put him in the crate because we need to make
Taking a hit
coffee.
on our productivity.
Yeah, but it's fine. We're
he
kind of
will only be a puppy for so long.
He's already
literally
so
already
big.
bigger, yeah.
It's like, it's wild. So anyway, that's like our big update. But
Yeah, next
moving on
update.
the list.
That provided no value to you at all. Okay, kind of another really random thing to say, but I feel like we just need to address it, as we are extremely faith-filled people and Catholic. The Pope has died this morning, so we're recording this on a Monday. Sorry, guys. Day before it drops. But the Pope died this morning, and I was
Just crazy.
just, like, crazy.
I mean, he's been sick, so it's kind of like expected, but also just, I feel like the last update I heard, I thought he was
It was like
getting
a
better.
miraculous recovery.
Yeah, like I thought he was getting better, but yeah, the Pope died, and I like vividly remember this Pope becoming the Pope. Like I remember watching on TV, you know, like that week of,
Yeah, like the third day up, it's still white smoke.
yeah,
It's
like it's not, the Pope isn't decided yet, like all this stuff. And you know, I was so much younger then, so I didn't really understand what was happening, but I just knew that it was like such a process. So now the fact that we get to go through that again, I mean, of course you have to pray for his soul, and you know, it's sad that he has died, but it's also, you know, it's kind of exciting to see. I'm
It is
excited from
exciting.
our perspective now, how deep in our faith we are, and also just like wiser and able to understand things a little better. Like, how long ago was that?
12 years ago. He was in,
So, you know, like I have no idea what's really going, not no idea, but not to the magnitude now. So
yeah,
just kind of crazy.
I'm really excited to see the process unfold. I feel like, especially now with where we are in our faith too, as we've grown, like I've paid so much more attention to like the difference between certain popes I've been reading into. And I also just want to say, like, a lot of people, not a lot, but some people didn't like Francis. Regardless of your thoughts on Pope Francis or not, if you were for him or not, you should never really be against the Pope.
I know.
By the way, I just want to say that as Catholics, if you are a Catholic listening, you are allowed to disagree with them, but you should never speak badly on them.
Yeah,
or
because I mean,
not like, I don't know, just like ill intention towards them. And you should be praying for his soul right now that he is going to heaven, regardless of what you think. I just want to say that, because it is our Catholic duty to be in support of the Pope.
well, and I just think in today's world, like a lot of politics started entering with the Pope, and it's hard not to get even like defensive or judgmental or be like, I agree, I don't agree. And I just think that's where church and state need to stay different. You know
like
what I
keep
mean?
your love for the Pope at your heart.
Yeah.
He is the head of our church. Don't forget that.
And he was chosen to be Pope for a reason. And I truly believe that he was asked to be Pope for a reason, and that was God, and we have to trust in that, and I do. So,
and that's why I'm also really excited for a new Pope, just because I feel like right now feels like a very interesting time. I don't know if I'm just in like a Catholic algorithm right now, but I just saw so many converts this Easter in particular, of like people converting to Catholicism. Now I'm talking mainly about Catholicism right now, but people converting, and just like a shift in overall society of moving towards God again. And I feel like this new Pope is going to be, especially within the Catholic Church, is going to be a defining moment of like really bringing back like the enthusiasm to the Catholic Church. Like there's so many converts, there's so many new people joining right now, like record numbers of men becoming Catholic priests right now. So I just feel like this position that is to be taken now is an extremely important one to set the tone of what the Catholic Church will be going forward.
Yeah, I agree completely. So
that's just like a history update. I think everyone should know that. It's really important.
Yeah. I mean, I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. Tyler had texted me and Dad had texted in our family group chat, the Pope died. And I was just like...
It was the first message I saw, because I was checking to see if Dad texted me. And all I saw was that from him. I was like, what?
I know.
It was baffled. I also think it's beautiful that it happened on Easter Monday. Literally right after Easter.
I know. It's kind of crazy.
Okay, next update. I literally have a list of running updates.
Obviously, Easter was yesterday. Such a beautiful day. Like we, have been saying, I think Easter is now my new favorite holiday because of the meaning behind it. Of course, I've always known the meaning behind it, but not to the depth that I do now, and just like the utter love and respect that I have for Jesus on like a whole new level, I feel like. And of course, that comes with maturity and age. And I forget what I don't know if it was what was I listening to? And someone was like, as you get older, what was it?
Oh my gosh, but it hit head on, because it was the homily on Easter Sunday. The priest said, because his father died on Palm Sunday.
Yes.
And the guy said, as you get older,
his priest at the time told him, as you get older, your Holy Week will change each year, almost like your appreciation and your understanding and depth of Holy Week will change.
Yeah. And
I feel like this was the first Holy Week that I was really feeling it. Almost,
I would 100% agree.
Like
same
it
for me.
it was really, I feel like, a transformational Holy Week, and it could have to do with other things that are happening in life, but regardless, they're all happening. So you can't place blame, or not blame, but like say it's just because like this was happening in my life that like I felt it more. But I don't know, it definitely, when he said that on Easter Sunday, I was like, that is exactly what I've been feeling. And I feel like, and like you said, I don't know if it's just because I'm on like Catholic algorithms on Instagram and even TikTok, or what it is, but I've seen more people be like, this Holy Week I have felt the suffering, I have felt the pain and emotions that have come with this week so much more than I ever have.
100%.
So I don't know if it's just I'm seeing it more because I'm more attuned to it, or what it is, but I don't know. I definitely, this year was just, I really loved it. I really enjoyed it.
So I want to share something for why I think it felt a little bit different for us. We've always participated in Lent, always, of course. We've always given up stuff. We've always done that. This was the first Lent, and I'm going to remind you of our Lent episode if you want to take a listen of that. But this was the first Lent where I feel like we were truly intentional of like, I'm not just going to give this up. I'm going to do this for every day of Lent, like with the pure intention of growing closer to Christ, of becoming more like Christ. Like I gave up cursing not because, it's going to be hard for me to do, I need something to give up. I literally wanted to become more like Christ. Yeah. You said the rosary every day because you wanted to become more holy. And I feel like that's the entire point of Lent. It's supposed to be a 40 days of sacrifices, because in your struggle is where you transform. And I feel like God really worked in our lives, maybe not in like the biggest transformation, but just like transformed our hearts to be closer to him and to feel it more. And I feel like that's why Holy Week really hit different for me this year, because we've been praying the rosary every day, going through the mysteries of the sorrowful mysteries, the agony in the garden. Like we've been living Holy Week all throughout Lent, and I don't think we've noticed it. So I don't know. I think like God literally transformed us this Lent.
Yeah. I also have to give credit to the Hallow app, because like we said on that Lent episode and have brought up numerous times, but Holy Week, they did it differently and did video of Holy Week in the Holy Land, and it being able to visualize the Holy Land and be able to like go through all the like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all of that through the Holy Land was, I feel like for me, I'm a visual person. I am moved visually. I learn visually. It's just how I work. So being able to see them go to the garden and watch, where did Jesus walk when he brought the cross and before, you know, he was condemned to death, like all these different things, I feel like helped connect me to it a little bit more, even and like put it in perspective now for myself and actually be able to visualize Jesus during that time, even though it was so long ago. I feel like I could truly visualize it for myself. So I have to give Hal a lot of credit for that, because that was at first I was like, why are they doing video? And then as soon as I obviously got into the week, I was like, I'm so happy they are, because it was a really cool experience to be able to see that.
That was unbelievable. Going off what you said about being like a visual learner, I think that really was critical this year for my Holy Week, in particular for Good Friday. Something that we did this year was we watched The Passion, and that was, I feel like I've watched The Passion of Christ, if you don't know the movie, directed by or produced by Mel Gibson, either one of those. I'm not sure if you guys ever watched that. I think that was like the first time I've ever really watched it. Like I didn't pick up my phone once. My eyes were glued to that TV, and it is an extremely gruesome, brutal movie. Mel Gibson does not hold back. He really shows you everything. And as hard as that is to watch, it's the whole point almost, is that you can really understand. And watching that, like The Passion, for the first time and truly seeing like, this is what Jesus did, this is what he went through, these were the days leading up to his resurrection, it just was like so real for me. And I reflected, so on the way home from the airport this morning, I literally prayed to God and I said, something was different this Holy Week. And it's not that I've never believed, it's not that The Passion was so impactful on me because I didn't believe that Jesus died for me. It's that I've always known that Jesus died for me, right? It's just been like a thought, oh yes, Jesus died for us. But you don't really understand like how great of a sacrifice that is until you see it. And I just felt like I believed without seeing, and then I saw this Holy Week, and it was like a whole different belief of like, wait, that actually happened. Like, I'm not saying I didn't think it actually happened, but like, I literally saw what happened. I feel like sometimes in history we're like, oh yeah, she was stoned to death, but we don't think about it. If you were to watch someone right now get stoned to death, you'd be like, like, so like to watch him actually be crucified, it was so real. And I was just like, Jesus did this for me. I don't know. Like, and then I read something on Twitter about like the Shroud of Turin, which is like when you see Jesus, and I saw it this morning, and I was just looking at like the outline of Jesus, and I was like, it looks so much like the actor from The Passion. I was like, not that I didn't think he was real, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, you were a living human. Like, you literally did die on the cross. Yeah, like this crucifixion is real for all the atheists out there. It's like, this happened. Like, I may not remember it, but I may not be able to place myself back so far in time, but like, there was a time in life when this was going on and Jesus was nailed to the cross for us. Like, it just, I don't know, the deeper I dig into my faith and the more and more I read like the resources, the Shroud of Turin, the face of cloth, right, all these different things, the more I'm like, whoa, like, this is crazy, like, this literally happened for me. And it gets me so emotional. Yeah, it really, watching The Passion, I feel like just created a whole different connection to the sacrifice and more of an appreciation. Like you said, it wasn't like, oh, I didn't appreciate it before, but it just created a different, like, I weeped. I weeped. Literally, I say weeped because I was sobbing the entire movie. I couldn't physically take the pain that Jesus was going through. Like, I couldn't bear to watch him experience this. And I feel like I never truly not understood, but like, Jesus spends 40 days in the garden, the agony in the garden. That is him truly seeing the sins of the world and knowing that he has to make this sacrifice to save us from our sin. Like, he knows in his heart, like, this is what God has called him to do. This is what he needs to be done. And it's just like, just everything though, like, even like seeing Judas betray him, like, you hear that so often and you're like, oh, like, how could he have done that? How could he have done that? Like, when you see the movie and you see the environment that Judas was in, I'm not justifying Judas, but it's like, you put yourself in the shoes and you're like, would I have done that? Yeah, like, that's what I thought. He was being attacked by the devil. Well, and that's another thing, is like, it literally shows you like just how much the devil can get to you. It even shows Jesus, the agony in the garden, being tempted by the devil, right? The devil's telling him, like, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't take on the weight of the world. You know that, right? Humankind is too evil. Like, you will never save them. Like, that's what
is happening.
And I just felt like it made me relate to real life of like, the devil prowls the earth. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, the devil, I don't want to go to hell. But
this like fictional thing.
Yeah, this fictional thing. The devil is real. The devil prowls the earth seeking to ruin the souls of all of us. And it is something that we need to combat and work against and literally push out of our life daily and move towards Christ, because the devil is attacking even someone as Jesus Christ. And I just feel like another thing also from the scene was Jesus didn't want to do this sacrifice, and it allowed me to relate to him and showed me how much of a human Jesus was, because he literally said to God, save me from this. Like, if you can take away this suffering, please don't have me endure it, but your will be done. And that moment just made me think of like all of these things in my life where I've prayed to God and be like, please take this stress from me. And instead of saying, like, I'm always like, please take it, and I just hope he takes it, I'm going to now end my prayers with like, but your will be done.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? It was just such like an incredible moment to see how human Jesus was. Like, he wasn't like, he was the son of God, so you know, he's a prophet and obviously has abilities beyond our belief, but he was still human.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
that's like the stepping stone of like a human sacrifice his life for us.
Literally. Just so
sorry for the rant.
But it's, if you haven't watched The Passion, I really encourage you to, and I think it's probably going to be something we watch every Good Friday now. And I feel like when I was younger, like Nana always wanted to watch it and stuff, but like you said, I've never truly like sat down. Also, it's in Arabic, so we were reading the English subtitles, of course, to understand what they were saying. But I feel like that even made it more real, of like not going to the English version. That just doesn't give the same effect, you know. It like really puts you in that place. So I really recommend it, and just, you know, take it however it comes when you are watching it. Like, it's gruesome, it's hard to watch. I was like,
I wouldn't just like put it on in the middle of your day.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
no,
I would mentally prepare for it. I was emotional after, because like our brother said when he watched it, he was weeping for his sins, and I felt after of like, Jesus, I'm so sorry for ever having offended you. Like, you did this for me. I'm so sorry for every sin that I commit, that you are like, oh, Isabel, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
I know.
It was just a really emotional experience of a sadness that I felt because of such a great love.
No, truly. Honestly, it's the perfect way to put it.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're like, let's not ramble today on our topics. But
Well,
this
I
is
feel
an
like that's,
important one.
you know, like they're always the bulk, and I feel like even just leading off of that. So one of the things that we wanted to touch on today that is well said in our in our intro was, I feel like I've been struggling the past like week and like a couple days with my ACL and just this journey. I feel like it hit me a lot more this week.
Sorry.
And
I just hit our ACL.
no, you hit my right foot. You're good.
Will I ever learn what leg it is?
Yeah, literally. Also, it's like crazy. My PT like moves my leg like insane, and my family like goes near. They're like, "Oh, I'm like, guys, he pushes on my leg. Like, he does crazy things. Like, he hurts me. You guys don't." Anyway, but this past week, it's funny because last episode, I feel like I was like, I'm feeling good. I know, like, I haven't experienced too many mental challenges, right? And then it was like right after that episode was when I feel like I sat with that, and not that triggered anything, but it was just, you know, the timing of everything. And I feel like truly it was the devil getting to me during Holy Week. Like, I honestly felt like that. And watching The Passion, half of my tears were coming because I felt so bad for feeling how I felt when Jesus was suffering like that. Like, I was like, if he can do that for me, I can handle this. Like, this is nothing. And I don't like comparing people's journeys and pains or anything, but anyway, it just kind of made me realize, like, on Friday, of like all of this suffering that I've been feeling this past week, maybe it's because the devil was getting to me. I was doubting my process. I was doubting my journey, my progress, everything that I've done. I was doubting my ability to be able to handle it, and it was just so emotional. Like, every single day I was just overwhelmed with like emotion at times, and I just kept crying, or I just kept like beating myself up, and I was like, what is happening? And then Friday watching The Passion, I was like, well, seeing the devil in this movie, that's what was happening. Like, he, like you said, he attacks during this week. He's not going to attack someone who's a non-believer. He's going to attack us, the people who believe, who love Jesus. And
non-believers aren't a threat, right? They don't believe. They're not building the kingdom of God right now. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but the devil's not looking at them thinking, oh, I need to make sure to knock them away. They're going for the followers, the disciples of Christ, the people seeking to become more like him every single day. That is who the devil is trying to tear down, because I don't know if it's a he, like I don't even know what to refer to that.
Yeah.
He wants to win you over.
No, so I just, I want to be transparent with you guys like all throughout this journey too. So I know this is this is already an all over the place episode, but I just think so one thing I can't do in PT yet is be able to lift my leg. So one of these things, it's called a short quad arc or something. So like he puts one of those like half foam rollers underneath my knee. I have a stimulator on my quad. When it stimulates, I'm supposed to flex my quad and just like lift my heel up. So it's a very tiny heel lift. It's not like I'm lifting my leg all the way up because we're not there yet, but I can't even lift my heel up, which is like a crazy thing because
You can now.
I don't even know about that. So that has been so frustrating for me because I'm like, you go into this, and at least for me, it's really hard. They tell you don't set expectations, don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Every person is so different. So watching someone at 2 weeks being able to do what you can't do at 4 weeks, like it can be hard not to get in your head, but they really try and tell you like don't focus on that because you don't know what's going on in their body and everybody is so different. So I went into this knowing not to compare to other people, but of course it's hard not to, but also putting myself up against myself of being like, well, I'm a very fit person. My quad strength is one of my favorite things about my legs. You know what I mean? Like I work out my quads pretty much every single day of my life. So like my quads can handle this, right? She pulled from my quad. So I was like, I'm ready to bounce back into it. So going into something, being so physically fit and then not being able to do it, but watching someone like next to me at PT be able to do it who has literally said to me like I don't really work out at all and can do it. That's not shame on her. It's just like that's hard not to get in your head about. It's like, well, she had surgery a week after me and can lift her leg and now I can't. Like, what are you talking about? I work out my quad all the time, So that is just one of those things that I'm like hyper fixating on right now. And
well, and it also instilled a fear within you of like, am I not recovering? Is my leg ever going to go back to normal?
Like what
is my quad going to be strong
am
again?
I not doing enough? One of the things that Isabel and I both struggle with in life is never feeling like we're doing enough. Like I think we can both agree on that. And that is something that if anyone has advice on like what to do, a freaking book to read, I don't know, because that's one of the things I really want us to tackle. That's a whole nother topic. But
that's a whole nother topic.
No, literally. But I'm feeling that in this. Like it's like, oh, am I not doing enough PT outside of PT in the home? And I feel like that comes with my guilt, knowing that I could be doing more reps of stuff. And then I met with my surgeon last week and she's like, you could be doing better. And now the surgeon's job, like my PT says, is to be hard on you. She's going to tell you need to be doing better because she needs to get you to where she wants you. Like if they're not hard on you, you won't actually recover well, which I'm good with. I'm good with, tough love. So, but hearing her say that, I kind of knew it going into it. I feel like I expected it, and maybe that's why I was being so hard on myself too. But it's just like you get in your head of like, okay, she's telling me my extension should be better. My extension is kind of limiting my quad from firing. My quad isn't. What is that noise?
I don't know.
All right, just making sure.
That was
Sorry.
new.
Yeah, that was a new noise we were hearing in our headphones. Anyway, but like my quad isn't firing right, and it's just like, what the heck is going on? Why isn't my brain registering that my knee is safe?
Yeah.
I've been walking outside my brace. I've been holding weight on just my left leg for over 10 seconds now.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't my body picking up that it is okay? It is okay to fire your quad, and it can just be really discouraging. And I am so unbelievably grateful for the physical therapist that I'm working with, Mike St. George at Ivy Rehab. I'm really, really grateful for him because he's the exact type of...
she's tearing up.
No, literally, I am tearing up because he sent me this email and it was just... It started bawling my eyes out, of course. Like, he hit me at a time where I was like, dude, really, come on.
No, literally.
But it was just, like, his encouragement to me because he knew. Obviously, I'm with him. I was with him 3 days in a row last week, so...
Well, and Kateri always, like, we always call Kateri the sunshine of the family, and she always thinks, like, I just feel like you don't think of yourself as, like, a gritty person. But, like, you are.
I know.
Like, Kateri's discipline
But he just knows I'm hard on myself,
yeah,
too.
but, like, Kateri walked in that PT place, and he was like, yeah, you're doing good. And Kateri looked him in the eye and was like, I don't want to be doing good. I want to be doing great.
And he's like,
he was like, oh, dude, this girl's not messing around.
And every time I'm there, I'm like, tell me I need to do more at home. Go ahead, tell me I'm not doing good. And he's like, dude, you're doing good. Shut up.
Like, so I just want to paint the picture
real.
of, like, Kateri is hard on herself.
Yes, but anyway, so I'm very grateful for him and this is why finding a good PT is so important. And I really feel like God led me to him because it's exactly the type of person I need to push me through this in a way that doesn't make me feel insecure, but uplifts me, but also challenges me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's not going to beat around the bush with me. He's going to tell me straight on, but he's also not going to be like, you're doing a terrible job, because I'm not, you know? But anyway, all this is just to say, because it's just been a up and down week, and it's like, I've been emotional about it. It's definitely, you know, I didn't experience the hardship mentally that I did until this week.
Yeah.
Like, it was the first time that I was like, whoa. And it was different tears than, like, you know, the first week after surgery when I cried for the first time when I took my bandages off because I didn't feel like I could move my leg. Those were different tears. Those were like scared tears.
And like shock. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, shock. Not, oh my gosh, this is going to be the rest of my life, because I know this isn't going to be the rest of my life. I know this is a period. You know, this is just a season. It's not forever. But yeah, it was definitely, you know.
This was the journey is going to be longer than I thought. Week.
Yes. And he has reminded me of that a lot. Like, you know, last week when I was there, it was my 3-week mark, obviously. And he was like, you're counting weeks right now. Like, this is months. This is a month to month to month journey. Do not freak yourself out about where you are 3 weeks. If you're at 5 months and you can't lift your leg, well, obviously we would talk before the 5-month mark. But he's just like putting into perspective of, you're once you get this little thing that you can't do, everything is just going to excel from here, truly. So don't rush something that will come on in its time, you know. And I feel like I just need to keep reminding myself of that, of like, it's not like when I go to PT it's all wasted because of this one thing I can't do. Now we're just building up my quad strength in other areas. Like, I'm doing 30-degree bridges, glute bridges, and we've added those in to kind of like fire up the quad a little bit more. I have the stimulators on. I have these BFR straps that really produce blood flow to my thighs, and all this stuff that we're doing. And he's like, you're discrediting all these other, not that I'm discrediting, like, I don't want to sound like I've been so negative, but it's hard, because
that's what
he also becomes like your mental therapist too, and he understands that. He's like, you know, this is a mental game just as much of a physical game. So I know that you guys are going to come here and it's not going to be the best feeling when you're here. Like, you guys, unfortunately, we meet on a painful basis.
Yeah.
You know, on like a very vulnerable way. So it's just like it's hard to go there and be like so happy-go-lucky when I'm literally there to be pushed to my limits.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's a
You're
negative place and a
almost
positive place. You know?
Yeah, it's a really, you're right. It's a negative and a positive.
But just to give myself, you know, credit so I can end on like a high note, and he pointed this out to me, and I feel like this was what I needed to hear too. He said to me that my ability to be comfortable in the discomfort is a lot harder than I feel like I realize, because I'm used to that discomfort. You know, like, I'm okay with being uncomfortable. He pushes me and it is painful. Last week was like, oh my God, I was taking deep breaths. Like, I was like, whoa. And he could tell because I was just silent.
Yeah.
Like, normally I'm like talking to him when he's bending my leg, and I was just squeezing the edge of the table, and he was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's fine. Keep going. Like, don't stop. Like, I'm okay with the 10 seconds of discomfort, because those 10 seconds are going to excel me 20 steps forward. So I'm okay with the discomfort. And I feel like it just goes to show you that in the discomfort is where the most growth happens.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm just trying to hold on to that and being proud of myself in those moments, because it's a very uncomfortable process. It's more discomfort than it is pain. It's being comfortable with pain. It's getting used to feeling uncomfortable for a very long time. Like, I have not been comfortable since the injury in my leg, in my body. You know, it's been...
You haven't moved in the way that you would want
exactly.
to. Like, Kateri hasn't been on a true walk since we got home from Naples right before her surgery.
And I only went on 2 walks there. Yeah. That was the first time I had really walked, because Naples was that transitional period of when I got my range of motion back and like my comfort on my leg. But yeah, and I feel like that's another thing that's getting to me is, which I might have said this last week, but the first like 2 weeks after surgery, you're okay with like not really moving, because you're just, you know, you're on meds, you're out of it, you're just like whatever.
Let me give myself the break.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm getting to the point now, you know, tomorrow is 4 weeks, so it's just like a lot of weeks of not doing my normal movement. So now that's probably getting to be more. I'm not sleeping that well, so just like a combination of things is like, whoa, throw me off a little bit, that's for sure. And I love my sleep. Let me tell you, I love my sleep.
Kateri loves her sleep.
We're not sleeping too well. My sleep score is a consistent 60. Oh my
And
word.
that is like very bad.
That's very bad.
For
My
aura.
recovery, my sleep score are really bad. So
Like I get 5 hours sleep some night, my sleep score is like 70.
yeah.
You told me 60. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, it's really bad. And some of that I'm like, should I not be paying attention to it? Because like I thought I slept better last night, wake up 62. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Now there's a lot of things that go into this. Oh my God. There's a lot of things that go into the sleep score, so.
Yeah, no, I know. So we're just, listen, we're taking it day by day, and I'm excited to be back in PT. I went 3 days in a row last week, so I had like a couple days off. Normally I'm used to going every other day, so I'm excited to get like back into the routine this week, and yeah, just really try and face it head on.
And something that I want to tell you, and I know that you know this, but not to bring it back to God, but Hallow mentioned this, and you said that after watching The Passion, you were like, you felt bad about struggling, and you were like, you literally died on the cross for us. Something that you can do moving forward is really like unite this suffering with Jesus's. Like, one thing that Hallow said was like, Jesus suffered so that we can share in his suffering. Why would we want to share in it? So that we can get to know him, so that we can unite our suffering with his. Like, knowing that he was strong enough to go through with the crucifixion by God's strength means that you are strong enough to get through this by God's strength.
Exactly.
He is going to carry you through this just like he carried Jesus through the crucifixion. So that's just something like, I heard that and was like, wow, I love that. If you're struggling in any form, like this is obviously Kateri's, but if you are struggling in any way, unite it with Jesus' suffering and you will find your strength.
No, it's so true, because sometimes it can be hard to understand why God is putting you through something that you're going through. And
it's like, do you think Jesus understood?
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't. He just accepted.
Yeah, so I think it's a great correlation to make, and it's definitely, ever since hearing that, I've been focusing more on that, and it has already helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And then after watching The Passion, like all of it has, I feel like I needed to go through last week to be able to go into this week. Do you know what I mean? Like
God's timing is perfect.
Yeah, the valleys are there for a reason. Like on the other side of the valley is the top of the hill. So it's like you got to get through that part, and I know that I'm still going to have plenty of valleys in this journey, but I got through the first one, and maybe I'm still there a little bit. We'll see how PT goes today, but you still have to experience the first one, and now,
Exactly.
another one bites the dust.
Another valley bites the dust, baby. Overcome.
Overcome.
Okay, so now moving on to my update. I would say like the biggest thing in my life right now. It's not really major, but you guys know a lot about it. I'm getting my MBA right now. I'm in the accelerated 1-year program. If you guys didn't hear that before, I ended up speeding up the process and getting it down to 9 months because I credit load. If you guys know me from college, I love getting ahead.
Hazel's the queen of that, so.
I am the queen of credit loading and just like skipping terms. So I majorly credit loaded, and I am a whole term ahead of schedule right now. So the normal 1-year MBA program finishes at the end of August before the fall term starts for the new year. I am finishing at the June 14th would be my last day, and June 14th is when I would graduate. So even if you are taking summer classes, you still graduate at June 14th.
Because that's like the big ceremony.
That's like the big ceremony. So even if I was on schedule with the whole year, like I'll actually probably be the only one to finish my classes at graduation. Not anymore. So I'm going to fill you in on this. You guys really know how I feel about my MBA. It's just not something that I'm looking for in my path, but I felt like God placed it in my life for me for a reason, and I've just been pursuing it. But something that I've been feeling really guilty about almost is that my dad, I'm so fortunate enough to have my parents paying for my education, and he is paying. I do get a discounted rate for being a Drexel student, but he is paying for my MBA right now. And something that's just been bothering me is I don't even want it. Like, I don't even care about these classes. And it's one thing if the classes felt really valuable to me, but when a professor puts up a McGraw-Hill Blackboard quiz and it's all these stupid questions that don't quiz you on anything in real life business, I get really frustrated. Like, my professors know if it's a real life business class, I am invested in it. You know it. Like, I love it. I go in, I present. These classes were genuinely so stupid. I felt like I was getting nothing out of it, and I'm here complaining about it, and my dad is paying for it. I'm like, why am I making him pay for something that I don't want?
Yeah.
So ultimately I decided, because I'm a term ahead, I decided to take off this spring term. So I'm still graduating in June, but instead of being done my classes by June, I'm taking off the spring term, and then this summer I will finish out my MBA. It's only about 4 classes. Like, this is the one term that won't be credit loaded because I'm so ahead. It's going to be
and it's all like online.
It's
you
all,
do it on your own time.
So that's why that's kind of why I did it, was because the summer classes are all online asynchronous, meaning I don't have to go on Zoom. I just like do it on your own time. So I was like, I'd rather not have any in person for the spring, be in my zone. I really wanted to work on everything Krause with Kateri.
Well, it's just like there's been a number of things that have been happening for us, and it's like, okay, so let's give dad a breather with paying for you, and also let's try and make it work enough that we're making enough money that maybe you don't even go back. Or
so that's ultimately the plan. If I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't know what's gonna happen. I may finish it out. I sort of have a chip on my shoulder right now where I have one term left. I almost want to do it, but at the same time, if I'm financially in the place that we want to be by the time I'm considering going back, I may just drop it. And that's really the goal. Is like, it has been distracting me as much as I don't think it has been. I have had to dedicate Sundays to coding, to figuring out all this work, and it takes up mental space, really great mental space and strength. I feel like this past term in particular was all coding. The mental capacity required for that was like, I didn't have any energy for everything Krause, and I feel like it showed. Yeah. Right? So I was just like, I need to like really dial on everything Krause, and I've never had a period of my life where it's the only thing I've focused on. And maybe this whole time at Drexel, the whole time God had me getting ahead was for this moment right now to see what we can do. So that's ultimately what led me to take the term off. It wasn't a hard decision to make, honestly, because it was really nice having that wiggle room of like, I can go back and finish it in the summer.
Like, the decision is yours.
Yeah, it's no hard process. Like, I reached out to the Drexel lady. She was like, no, you're literally just like you're finishing with everyone else now. Yeah, and I was like, okay, perfect. And it also gives me the room,
because everyone else is finishing then too, so like you're
it's not like I'm like behind and staying another term. And it also lights a fire under my booty of get to work. You don't want to finish your MBA, you don't want to waste any more money, have a 20K month.
Well, and it's kind of just like right now we're both like, I am fully at home, right? Like, even you were in school doing online classes, I was teaching at 5 different studios all week, like 3 classes a week. So my traveling was all over the place, right? Like, now I am forced to be at home. I'm not teaching in studios. Honestly, we were talking about this week, I don't know when the heck I'm going to be back, because, you know, you think like, oh, I'll be back after a month. Like, I don't even feel comfortable doing that. Like, I don't even feel comfortable like leaving the house for more than an hour.
I don't think you're mentally there yet.
I'm not mentally there, but anyway, so I've been on my laptop a lot more, and guess what? Isabel's been on Instagram a lot more, and then the brand deals are coming. Oh my god, we put in energy and we got brand deals. Like, that's freaking awesome. We had our
first big month where we brought in enough money to support our lives. Oh wow, with minimal effort. Oh wow.
So it's just like, it's kind of, you know, we always say that God's timing is perfect, and it's now lining up. It's now we're able to see it a little bit more. Like, we've always believed that, but now it's kind of coming to fruition. And like you said, it just lights a fire in our butt, because this time could go super wasted of like me being home. Like, I could sit on the couch one day and watch TV. Like, all these people are like, oh, you're watching TV shows. I'm like, no, I'm on my freaking laptop answering emails. Like,
dude, now she was on her laptop literally the day she got home from surgery. She was like beating herself. She was like, I didn't make a reel today, I haven't helped you. I'm like, bro, you're still loopy.
Yeah, literally, I was like loopy. But anyway, so it's kind of just like, I feel like it's, listen, we're going with the flow, and like you said, I feel like God prepared you for being ahead all this time, for getting used to taking so many in undergrad, like like taking so many credits. And
that's where it all started. Just that's where I really feel God's power.
Undergrad credits gave you the room, because that's a different thing, but it got you so comfortable with overloading where you were okay with the pressure of that amount of credits.
Dude, I loaded undergrad.
Like, if you were just used to,
people understand the
oh my gosh.
Listen, I may no, I'm not tooting my own horn. I am. I just don't understand. Like, you guys don't understand.
Well, especially Drexel. Like, I actually can't.
No, Drexel's actually, I feel like people don't give it enough credit.
It's 10 weeks for one class.
Yeah, 10 weeks for one class. Like, I was taking midterms. Literally, you guys have syllabus week. I have syllabus 10 minutes. Yeah. 10 minutes, and then you're studying. I had an exam my second week of classes, almost every single term. Anyway, that's not the point. I pushed myself to the max, so at Drexel, and like, that credit overload taught me so much about being efficient. So I just want to say one more thing here. I kindly am requesting prayers for Kateri and I as we move throughout this spring period and this growth season, because something I am struggling with is, without those classes, without the pressure of like, I need to do this, this, and this, and it's sort of only an everything Krause to-do list, I'm feeling a little bit disorganized. I'm feeling disheveled with only having one thing on my plate. I'm so used to juggling 5.
It's like one thing, but it's a lot of things.
It's one thing, but it's a lot of things. It's brands, it's releasing programs, it's creating a community, it's producing value, it's creating a website now,
it's podcasts, like, you know, it's like
it's brainstorming. It's just a lot, and I can't seem to, I feel like the overthinking is stunting my progress, and now I'm sort of getting what Kateri just said, I'm not doing enough, and I sort of am living my days feeling like I didn't do enough, feeling like I'm not worthy of laying on the couch at night watching a show with her because I'm like, I didn't do enough today. And it's just been, that for me has been the devil getting to me, of like a mental weight of, you're not doing enough, you're not going to be successful, are you even serious about this, you need to do this by the end of spring term. And it's like, I'm putting a timeline on something that doesn't even need to have a timeline. So just I'm requesting prayers for us and this journey, to give us, pray for our organization. If I'm getting particular about the intention, just pray for the organization.
No, literally. Of everything Krause.
Yeah.
So we can keep it afloat. No, but I feel like that's kind of our roundabout updates.
Was that crazy?
Probably, but
okay, one more thing that we need to say, it's the last thing on the list, I teased you with it so I can't not share it, is our mom also got us, along with our little sweatshirts, a rosary making kit, which I am so excited about. If you heard me mention earlier in this episode, we prayed the rosary every single day for Lent, which is something that our grandmom did every single day of her life. She prayed 13 rosaries every single day for every single grandchild. So that inspired us to really like start praying the rosary this Lent season. I was like, what is the rosary? I've prayed it before, maybe once, and it's, everyone always calls it like a spiritual weapon in the Catholic faith. So we started praying it, and I feel like we really felt the power of it. Like, I just loved it. It was a very meditative prayer, and it brought me a lot of peace. And I came across this girl on X who makes rosaries. Her name's Catholic Cassie. I'm obsessed with her. And she just is a wife, a loving wife, not a mother yet. So she just literally makes rosaries all day and prays at adoration and blesses them and like sells them to people. And I said to Kateri, like, I would love to fill my free time, like a way to turn my mind off, making rosaries. People love to color, people love to paint. I want to make rosaries. So our mom got us a rosary making kit, and I literally can't wait to start making them.
I know, she has like all these different beads and fun things, so that was just like a fun little thing. But I'm very excited. So if you want a rosary, let us know.
We're selling rosaries soon on Everything Krause.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, actually, we can just ship them out to people. Like, it doesn't...
But something, maybe I shouldn't share the idea yet. No, I won't share it. It'll be for the drop.
Yeah,
because someone could steal it if I don't do it.
So we have to do it.
Listen, we're here to help, but not that often.
Yeah. So anyway, this was just like an update type of episode to kind of get inside our lives a little bit more. I feel like sometimes it's hard to do that, like I said in the beginning, when you're so focused on a certain topic and wanting to make sure we get everything out around that topic. So yeah, this was just all these updates. I feel like we needed to do them before it was like too late anyway. Like, this is all very much happening now, and we'll keep you guys updated on the puppy, keep you updated on everything else as we always do. But yes, like Isabel said, I am asking for prayers to just help us through, not help us through, but just guide us in this season, that Jesus guides us and gives us the strength and the organization and everything that I think we both need individually and also together as, you know, as a unit that we are, being able to work with each other and get through it all and like actually be productive and, and be able to be like, yes, I did good today.
One last thing.
Go ahead.
I like sharing these episodes because a lot of you, I'm talking to the audience here, a lot of you message us and often think that we have our life completely together. And I've noticed that from my ex page too. Like, a lot of them think I'm constantly positive. They think I am constantly productive. And one thing I've told like most of the people who reached out, or even the people who DM us and Everything Krause, is like, we have our faults, we have our struggles, we have our mental battles, we have moments where we don't feel connected to God. So I love these personal episodes because it gives you a glimpse into like what Kateri's experience with the ACL. Like, that's very human.
Like,
you heard our ACL update, like you would think Kateri's the most positive, is unfazed, and is accepting this as God's plan.
Well, it's like everyone who has reached out to me about it's like, it looks like you're crushing it, and it's like, oh, I don't want people who go through the same thing to think like it's just, there's some people that crush it and some people that don't crush it, because it's not like that at all, you know? So it's nice, you're right, it's nice to show it.
So we're not perfect, folks.
Far from it.
No one is. Sure. Jesus Christ was perfect and they still crucified him. Don't forget that.
Another update is that our YouTube page is slowly growing, but as well, what is something that we can help grow the podcast? Not even just YouTube, all of it. Like, what can people do?
Yes, you can like this video right now, comment on it, comment a freaking exclamation point. I don't care.
Put comments on Spotify.
You can literally go into ChatGPT and say, write me a comment on this description, and comment it.
Perfect idea.
You know what I mean? Like, no brain power required. It would make me really happy. It'd make Kateri really happy. It probably adds some joy into our life.
Yes.
So anyway, you can like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please follow us on Instagram at Everything Krause, at Sculpted with Kateri, at No Sugar Pod. That Instagram has sort of been growing because I've been like tagging it a lot more, but we got to get more reels up there. Just really help us grow. We would love to share this podcast with more people. We have some ideas brewing. Maybe I should just mention it if any of you get to this part of the episode, thinking of hosting like spaces on X or Twitter because it's easier to host interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of things coming. We are building up our network right now. And we have some really like great people that I think you guys would love to hear from. So just please help us grow this podcast, because if the podcast grows, then all of this is possible for us. And I feel like God placed us in our life for a reason. I feel like we have this mic to speak for someone who needs to hear it.
Exactly.
So please help us reach that person who may need this message today.
Yes, seriously. And
I'm like slurring my words. I'm like,
anyway, we really truly appreciate all of you, and if you are at this part of the episode, we appreciate you even more than the people who started listening.
God
to it.
bless you.
Like, for real, God bless you, because I don't know if I would. I'm kidding. No, I'm not giving us credit, but seriously, we do appreciate all of you who are already subscribed to our YouTube, who like all of our videos, and like or have already rated us on Spotify, all these things that we ask for. If you've already done it and you can't do it again because you can only subscribe once, like we truly do appreciate, and it does not go unnoticed. Like we always say, every little thing brings us so much joy. Every comment, like, it does kind of like give us this immense amount of joy that you guys probably don't even realize it does. So we are just so grateful for each and every one of you and just this community that we're building, and we love bringing you guys along for the journey, and we can't wait to keep doing it. We will always keep you in the loop. We'll always be honest with you. Like this podcast was started, we're not sugarcoating anything, so we will always be real and honest and bring you along the journey and remind you that we are not perfect, and that's okay. And you don't have to be perfect either, and it's all just about getting 1% better every single day in all aspects of life, whether it's faith, fitness, mental, family, relationships. Getting 1% better every single day is the goal. Progress, not perfection, and we want you guys to be right alongside experiencing that in your own life, however that looks like for you. So thank you for joining us today on another beautiful episode of No Sugar. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, an amazing rest of your week, and we will see you next time.